we have three great guest speakers from Japan, and I think we're going to start with Mr. Fuyuki Goto. Fuyuki is a retired high school science teacher, and one of his former students is over there. And he previously did some researches on water treatment in Hokkaido, and he is now involved in some study groups that focuses on all the nuclear-related issues.
Hello. Thank you for having me here for this event. My name is Yuki Goto, and I'm a retired science teacher from Japan. I live in Hokkaido, which is here. This is Hokkaido. My town is here. Okay. And Hokkaido is about 600 kilometers north of Fukushima. The first allow me, and my story will be overlapped with Mr. Garrison's story, but I try not to. Okay. On March 11th of last year, when the earthquake hit, I happened to be in a medical clinic. As an earthquake was so common in Japan, and when the earthquake started, it was not strange to us. Usually, an earthquake begins with very small vibrations, and building up to heavy shaking and then subsiding. And when I was a kid, I was very good at creating artificial earthquakes by shaking, sliding walls like this. And then my mother would always jump out of the living room with a bangor in her hand. Yes, so anyway, this time, we didn't feel any initial small vibrations, just big horizontal sways, and it lasted a long time. The whole building went silent. When a quake hits, there's nothing much we can do. We just stay still and wait for it to stop. This time the earthquake lasted almost 7 minutes. But it felt like an eternity to us. So this quake was a big one, and it would bring huge damage to the air and the areas near the epicenter, and of course it did. Today I'd like to talk about a few things which I think are unique to Japan. The cause of the Fukushima accident, Japan's nuclear safety myth, the nuclear village, and speed. Okay. First, I'd like to show you a map of Japan. As you can see, we are standing on the land where the 4 major tectonic plates meet. And the Philippine Sea Plate and the Pacific Plate are slowly moving towards northwest towards Japan, and straight under the Eurasian and North American plates. And there are roughly 13 to 18 plates in the world, but we have 4 in Japan. So here slowly means about a speed of 6.5 to 8.5 centimeters per year. This makes Japan so unstable. And 20% of the world earthquakes over the magnitude 6 occur in Japan. In the last 10 years alone, we have had 16 earthquakes over magnitude 6. The March 11th earthquake was really massive, but we have to keep in mind that there is a potential to have even larger quakes in the future. Now let's look at Fukushima Daiichi accident. Last year on March 11th, 1 year ago, about pretty much at this time, in Japan, magnitude 9 earthquake, followed by a massive tsunami hit northeastern Japan and crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. As time is limited, I'll just give you an overview of the accident. Shortly after the quake hit, the controllers were automatically installed to the reactors, and chain reaction stopped. But the pipes and equipment were damaged extensively by the quake because if you look at the chart of apartments on the internet, it is so simple. But actually, so this is reactor building and this is turbine building. So they are connected with numerous pipes and lines and tubes. So within the reactor building, there are thousands of pipes. So those two buildings, shape in different modes. So I'm sure that the afterlife caused lots of trouble. So among all, the damage to the electrical system was fatal. There was all power due to the collapse of electrical transmission towers, which is very tall. 20 meters tall towers are very tall collapsed. And then 40 minutes later, it was 15 meters tsunami. The tsunami damaged the backup electrical power sources, which are batteries and diesel generators. But most of the generators were placed in the basement. Naturally, they became flooded. The nuclear plants lost their cooling system. This eventually caused hydrogen explosions and reactor meltdowns. Now let's look at the Fukushima accident a little bit more closely. Here's a brief timeline of the accident. As you see, there are six reactors in Fukushima. The 1, 2, 3, unit 1, 2, 3 were in operation, and 4, 5, 6 were under inspection. And 4 defueled, which is kind of a medical checkup, and it's kind of overhauled. So, and there was no fuel in the reactors. But the 5 and 6 and the condition cold shutdown. And from the night of, look at the light, this one, 14th and 15th. From the night of the 14th to the 16th was a critical period in the accident. On top of 1, 2, 3 unit 2 reactor went into meltdown. So 3 reactors went into meltdown at the same time. And the pressure of the containment vessel, it's too small. So this is the reactor, the pressure vessel. The outside, this is the containment vessel. So pressure of the containment vessel at unit 2 that are beyond its limit, almost twice as much, and was about to explode at any moment. So to lower the pressure, they vented the steam, which contains radioactive substances, into the atmosphere. So at this point was a very crucial time, and I read obviously, and at some point in this period, the TEPCO company president thought of abandoning the plant because he was concerned about the workers' safety. But actually he did not, luckily. So after over 11 hours struggle, they managed to lower the pressure, and the worst case scenario was averted. In Fukushima Daiichi nuclear accident, compared to the damage to unit 4, unit 1 to 4, units 5 and 6 weren't damaged so much. Why is that? Because units 5 and 6 are built apart from unit 1 to 4 and are located on a little higher ground. And they have an air-cooled diesel generator on the first floor, so they didn't need to pump up seawater. In units 1 to 4, unit 1 to 3 were in operation, and unit 4 was under regular inspection. So you might think unit 4 will be safer than others because it's not working. But if the cooling system failure had prolonged, it was unit 4 that would have been a bigger threat to the Fukushima plant. At unit 4, so all the fuel well, I think here. I think here. All the fuel rods were removed from the reactor and moved slowly into spent fuel pool. There are thousands, several candles there. And I think most of you know that spent fuel means it's not waste all times. We have tenants, okay? And the spent fuel doesn't mean waste. So nuclear partners always make a checkup every 30 months. So every 30 months they shuffle the half waste or 1/3 waste. So there are lots of kind of different age of fuel there in the spent fuel pool. And several hundreds of spent fuel rods were very fresh and hot. Because they have no protection other than water. They are not protected by pressure vessel and stick containment vessel. It was quite fortunate, or maybe by sheer luck, that TEPCO could manage to cool down the reactor and the spent fuel rods under very severe conditions. We tend to focus on Fukushima Daiichi plant accident and water other plants. Other nuclear plants in the area were also damaged by the earthquake or tsunami or both. For example, Fukushima Daiichi plant. This is Fukushima Daiichi. Okay. It takes time, so I don't put down the face here. They are all here, here, to here. And there are 2 here and 3 here. Okay. For example, Fukushima Daiichi plant lost power supply from outside and on the verge of meltdown 3 out of 4 reactors because of plant failure. And it was kind of fortunate because of March was happened to be Friday, not weekends. So there are enough workers to maintain, to look after the failed reactors. But it took a long time to start the reactors. Togai Daiichi plant also lost power supply from outside, and one of the emergency diesel power supplies went down. On April 11th, due to a major aftershock, Higashimori nuclear power plants and Rokashu processing plant, it's on the north of Honshu, over there, lost power. At Onagawa nuclear plant, which is in Miyagi-ken, so it's there in the middle. Onagawa plant, no more power supply was down. So from this fact, we can conclude that nuclear power plants in Japan cannot withstand major earthquakes. Now Japan's nuclear power plants are earthquake-proof. This is why I believe Japan's so-called nuclear safety is a myth. Over several decades, Japan's nuclear establishment has devoted vast resources because the Japanese public of the safety and necessity of nuclear power. Bureaucrats made elaborate campaigns to advertise the safety of nuclear power plants. Plant operators built lavish and fantasy-filled PR buildings in the municipalities that accepted nuclear plants, and have been giving huge amount of subsidies. On our island, we have one nuclear power plant, which is located about 100 kilometers away from my town. I visited the village tomorrow last year. Tomorrow's plant is one of the 2 out of 54 nuclear power plants that are still running in Japan now. The other 52 are now under safety inspection. And maybe by the end of next month, there will be 0 nuclear power plants will be working. Tomorrow is a little fishing village with about 2,000 people. There's a fancy nuclear power plant, PR buildings with fancy swimming pool, and there's a nice US skating arena, and there, of course, no industries. So it was such a shame I didn't bring swimming class. The politicians pushed through their textbooks with friendly views of nuclear power. The result was the widespread belief called nuclear power safety myth. The public has come to believe that Japan's nuclear power plants are absolutely safe. The creation of nuclear myth is largely due to the nuclear power plant villages. The nuclear village is a nickname for types of government officials, manufacturers, scientists, and others involved in the promotion of nuclear power plants. In Japanese, we say Genpatsu. Genpatsu is the abbreviation of nuclear power plant, and Mura means village. Mura also refers to a small close community. In the village, politicians receive donations from power companies, power companies dispatch employees to government bodies to deepen relations with bureaucrats. After retirement, bureaucrats are given very cushy jobs at power companies. Scientists receive funds from power companies. The nuclear village was really started to grow after the 1973 oil crisis. Since then, planning and construction of nuclear plants are formally promoted and accelerated under the ban of energy security. Until then, Japan was rather cautious about developing nuclear plants. It is quite natural, as Japan is the only country in the world that experienced influence. When Japan began to launch nuclear power, in order to make plants safe, the government established two organizations, put simply Atomic Energy Commission, AEC, as an accelerator, and Nuclear Safety Commission, NSC, as a brake. One pushes forward with nuclear energy programs, the other is a kind of watchdog. And the accelerator was supposed to obey brakes regulations, whatever they are. So in the beginning, with only a handful of power plants to regulate, the system worked well. But as the number of power plants increased, the brakes slowly became less effective. In 2001, the Nuclear and Industry Safety Agency, NISA, in the United States, was born as a double-check agency of the brake. NISA is supposed to be a regulator that is placed under the Ministry of Industry and Trade, or MIT, MITI. MITI is a promoter of nuclear power plants. We have the brake for regulator and the accelerator for promoter. Lastly, I'd like to talk about SPEED. SPEED is an acronym for the System for Prediction of Environmental Emergency Dose Information. Yes, a long name. I can say it in Japanese, it's too long. So SPEED is a computer system that gives prediction of radiation after a nuclear accident. It's designed to speedily calculate the dispersal of radioactive substances emitted in the air to help the state and local governments in their disaster prevention measures. But the government did not release the speedy data immediately to the Japanese public. Why? Returning over to the US government instead. Even today, we don't know who was responsible for this. So I'll just quote what the director of Nuclear Safety Research Center said. He said, if the system has no information at the time when radiation material is released and quantity dispersed, SPEED can predict nothing more than wind direction. But the wind direction would have been enough to let people know which way to escape. The government didn't take SPEED at all and made a concentric circle like this. Concentric circle of the evacuation zones. As all you know, the radiation doesn't spread, disperse evenly like this. So because of this, 8,000 people. Let me explain. So this chart is now the brown and the green chart, green color part is now of speed. We couldn't get the speed data. So this is the data of the cesium on the soil. So it's obvious that because cesium spread over the south. So anyway, and because of this, 8,000 people who lived the downwind side outside the circle received an unnecessary dose of radiation. And the meteorological agencies also predicted the dispersal of radioactive substances based on the wind data they were collected. They reported the prediction data to International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, but didn't release it to Japanese public either. Okay, my hand is up, so okay. I'll stop. Okay. Unfortunately, I have no conclusion at this point, because there is still much uncertainty about the situation, and the Fukushima accident has not been contained yet. We have opened the Pandora's box, a box of nuclear power. From the box, lots of problems has emerged, like chain reactions. Think about this, there are over 400 reactors in the world, and over 60 reactors are under construction. One big nuclear power plant failure can affect the whole world, one way or another. Radiation is carried by the wind and sea currents. This planet no longer has any areas that can be regarded as far away when nuclear power plants are concerned. We are all connected somehow. Thank you.
Question and answer session after the next speaker, so please hold to that. So next speakers we have two. Mr. Watari Wada right here and Mrs. Aya Marinori are the core members of the Citizens Radioactivity Measuring Stations. I believe you have several stations in Fukushima and one in Tokyo, and they have done some air measurements in Fukushima as well as in Tokyo, and they just started some measurements in food as well.
We come from the CRNS of Fukushima. CRNS is an NGO which is a measuring station of the radioactivity by the citizens. This is a picture showing the simulation done by the French state institution, how the radioactive plume diffused from Fukushima nuclear power plant, how it covered the northern hemisphere. I have known the danger of the nuclear power plant, but I have not acted enough to stop it. I like to apologize that this has happened, and the radiation has been diffusing to the world till now. We will introduce what is truly happening and what is problem in Fukushima nowadays. There are three major problems: hiding, distrust, no communication with residents. Hiding information, the government didn't inform the risk and exact situation, radioactive contamination at the beginning of the nuclear power plant accident. A lot of residents have been exposed without warning, even when the March last year. Distrust. The government said it is safe. There is no effect on the health. Residents cannot believe that it was safe. Concern about the impact of health, especially for kids and babies, who are most sensitive to the radiation. No communication with residents. Citizens must accept that the government has decided, they say. We cannot express our concern and anxiety. Fukushima Health Survey began from July last year. Recovery rate of the survey is 20%. The public opinion poll, do you think it's useful or not? The answer is useful 40%, useless 50%. Some people say, I cannot believe this investigate. Some people say, I do not want to cooperate with them. The other people say, I give up, it's too late. This law is same as Dr. Yasumura in this morning. This distribution of external radiation exposure. Under 1 millisieverts, about 50%. Over the 1 to 10 millisieverts is 40%. Over the 10 millisieverts is 71 distance. Maximum is 23 millisieverts. It's children under the 20 years. About 1,000 children under 1 millisievert, but about 650 children 1 to 10 millisieverts. One child is 80 millisieverts. This is a public opinion poll. Introduction of some questionnaire of the other newspaper and Fukushima broadcast joint investigation. Question is, do you feel the stress living in Fukushima after the nuclear power plant accident? So yes, feel the stress living in Fukushima are about 80%. And next question is, do you want to move? Answer yes, 34%. Especially parents who have small children, I want to move are over the 50%. What we can do to protect ourselves? Movement of citizens has begun for protecting children from radiation by ourselves.
Hello, my name is Sadaru Bata. I like to brief speech about how we developed the measuring station in Fukushima and how the people were like in the very beginning, since the beginning of the impact of the nuclear plant accident. And so, this is the picture. The last May, I have been to Fukushima since last in the end of April. I've been to Fukushima with the support and cooperation with the NGO, French NGO called Aquila, and they sent us two professional measurement devices and 10 of portable devices to pass them on to residents of Fukushima to check by themselves and to determine by themselves what to do. And so this is a picture of measuring with the parents and also with the teachers of nursery and schools. And many of parents of Fukushima asked me to survey for the school and the nursery grounds. And we have checked together, and some of they have evacuated already, and some of they are still working with us. And in this survey and research, and we have done cooperative research with pre-lab in the end of May. We have found out that the food is not controlled suddenly in the level of residence. So we have started to begin a project. First, with using a very portable device to check the food measuring, and we made some lectures to how to measure the food stuff. And then now we have 9 food monitoring stations in Fukushima Prefecture and 1 in Tokyo. And also many couple supporting groups using one high-purity germanium detector and also a 2 sodium iodide detector. This is in Fukushima City. So we have 8 different measurement stations in Fukushima. Also, we have started health consultation with physicians and pediatricians from the other part of Japan because the doctors in Fukushima University cannot express also as residents, they cannot express their anxiety or they cannot say they cannot say something against against something which Fukushima Medical University or Doctors Association of Fukushima decide that they will communicate with the residents with saying under 100 decibel, which is safe. But actually, for example, Professor Yamashita, like when he communicated with residents, he said there's no any danger under the 100 decibel. But when he speaks to doctors, he said there's no proof or evidence to prove any health injury under 100 decibel, which is very different discourse and makes people really harder. And so we have started in last June to do some health consultation with these advisors, pediatricians. And we have made this life notes and we distributed to Fukushima parents, especially for people who have moved out from Fukushima Prefecture, and so they can check that their behavior after the accidents, and also they can check their medical record of their family. So to estimate and know the people can estimate by themselves. Since September, we have started to measure on the condition in the body with using the whole body counter. This is very easy one to screen, and the screen level is down to 300 milligrams. I don't know, I mean 300 milligrams per body, and so we can check it out. And there's one problem. This device is from Belarus. There's no more problem on season 134 in Belarus, but we have still season 134 and 137. And what we know is the ratio of season 134 and season 137 diffused from plants were almost equal, 1-to-1. So season 134 has a short half-life, like 2 years, and so it's decreasing almost 10% in 3 months. So we have to recalculate the background, and also we have to carefully check the efficiency of how we're going to calculate the activity inside the body. And also, we have made the international conference in last October. Also, we are planning to hold the international conference in June 23rd and 24th, because there's a lot many different opinions should be, but haven't been reflected and haven't been introduced to the people. The researchers or scholars working for the government are very one-sided. So actually, we are not stupid. We need to hear certain debate, and so these arguments will bring people certain meaning to choose what to do and what should be done. And so our organization, CRMS, we are considering a total radiation protection. So we measure for air dose of the houses, and we measure food stuff and body, and we hold the health consultation with doctors. Also, we make some conference. Sorry, this is not what we have for this presentation. So the presentation is over.
Are there any questions for any of those three speakers?
I'm just wondering about the quality of food
I'm sorry, I think you have to repeat that.
I'm just wondering about how people feel about eating the food and the fish around the area of Fukushima, and whether there are any supplements that people get recommendations from the doctors or health care practitioners.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I am wondering about the food and fish from the area. Are people feeling uncertain about growing the food or eating the food? And do they get recommendations from the doctors as to what kind of supplements they might take to counteract the effects of radiation?
So, I don't know if you specifically talk about the doctors in Fukushima or areas, but those supplemental, whatever the support from the doctors.
Just food and fish safe.
Yeah.
I mean, the food screening, food monitoring in the residential level has not been proposed since the accident. But now the local government starts to bring lots of devices to screen food stuff. They're gonna start from the new year beginning, and then they are developing those monitoring stations like we had. But those screening systems are very easy, so they cannot find very small amounts of activity, so which is not enough to be measured. I mean, it's not really enough. And also, there's no any risk communication from doctors of Fukushima Medical University. I mean, some of younger doctors of Fukushima Medical University mostly communicate with the residents for telling them of radiation protection. But in one hand, they are saying it's safe, and on the other hand, they are saying people have to do a certain protection, which doesn't make sense. So now they are also struggling how to bring a certain protection to the people.
I'd like to direct a comment to Aya. First of all, as a Canadian, I'm touched by your apology regarding the disaster, and I don't think you're the only one. I think it's actually a global issue. My question for Aya as well, the surveys and polls that you've shown us, are those your own, or did you get the data from other organizations?
those you talking about the survey results? Where did you get those information? The data? Like what kind of survey was it?
The survey is from Fukushima Health Survey. We use the same measuring data which the Fukushima Medical University uses. It's exactly the same.
今お見せになったデータが独自に集められたものですか？
No, it's not. No, it's not the measurement data by ourselves. We use the data from Fukushima Medical University.
Also, they did the survey about their feeding too.
It's not the survey, it's the estimation of initial impact. So it's the estimation and exposure between March 12th to something like that. You know, we had to, or they had to estimate how much people have been exposed since the accident. But people doesn't carry around the dosimeter, you know. So we have to estimate from the radioactive diffusions.
No, I think what she is asking is about the, I guess, survey that people feel supportive to this Fukushima's health measurement survey or not, and those kind of, you have the diagrams up there, and she was asking where those data is from, or you did the survey yourself, or?
In this
そう。福島ユニバーシティアメリカンセールです。ネットで。
So it was by Fukushima met you.
Question for Tom. Are you advising people on the safety of food based on official government standards and guidelines or your own guidelines? Because the official government safety levels went up by orders of magnitude after the exposure started.
Yeah, that's true. The tentative limit for food is 500 becquerel, which is a total amount of cesium, which is not unacceptable. And the authority will decrease this tentative limit down to 100 becquerel per kilograms, which is starting from April 1st. But this is still quite high to eat continuously. So people need more control. People need to have more controlled food.
So when you tell people that food is safe, are you telling them that food is safe based on the current government guidelines or the previous, or your own guidelines? What standard do you?
We don't give any guidelines which is safe or not according to a non-linear threshold theory. There's no any safety amount limit, and so if we say temperature is safe, we cast away the people who affect under 10 becquerels. You know what I mean? So we don't give any guidelines to the people. We just give our data and some information to see the effect of exposure from information from Chernobyl case or Hiroshima and Nagasaki case. And so we suppose that people need to evaluate by themselves what is the limit which they can accept or not.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Just time for one more question, please.
So can you say, what do you see when you have scintillators, okay? If you look on the food with the scintillators, what do you see? Do you screen for the total rate, or do you try to rate it into
listen to your voice.
What do you measure for the food measurement? Like
Measurements?
what can
We are posting the measurement results on the internet site so you can check it out. And
So, okay, but can you say what you see? Can you?
what do I see? You mean the types of granular?
Yes.
Actually, what we are looking for is cesium. And if we know the ratio, like you said, if we know the ratio between other nucleus and cesium 137, so we can estimate the risk.
So do you look for 137 and 134?
We measure 134 and 137 and item 131.
And you can get it in a scintillator. Is it strong enough to exceed in the scintillator counter?
Yeah.
Can you resolve 134 from 137 in the scintillator?
To use of sodium ion and scintillator, we have to be very careful because when we measure a small amount of activity, cesium 134 and 137 are I want to show the spectrum of it, but actually it's very hard to say under 5 becquerel. I mean, to separate the 134 and 137. So we use the easy screening for sodium iodide scintillator for screening, and to do some process measurement, we use a general detector. And even though the using of sodium iodide scintillator, we can still find the other temperature or other 5 becquerel per kilograms of cesium 134 and 137 if we take certain time to measure.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that we have to close this off now, but please thank our panelists.